Good afternoon, my lovely followers. It's your queen, Sarah, and we are back with another video. We are back. I know I kind of got out of the habit of making videos every day. And honestly, crap happens, politically in Iran. Crap over there happens so quickly that I barely have time to post a video before the thing I'm talking about has changed. I posted a video a few days ago when Trump literally threatened to wipe out all of Iran, when he literally threatened, genocide. He threatened to wipe out a whole civilization. I posted a video and honestly, I didn't post it. I made a video. And by the time before I could post it, the information had already changed. There was a brief ceasefire. One that, of course, Israel broke within, a day, less than a day. You know, they launched an unprovoked attack upon Lebanon, supposedly to target Hezbollah. But we all know what the real plan is. We all know what the hook-nosed mafia's true goals are. And it has something to do with the Greater Israel Project. So yeah, Israel does not want peace. International Jewry does not want peace. It wants to drag our youth, kicking and screaming, into a foreign conflict that nobody in America actually supports or wants, other than the evangelical Zionist retards. Nobody supports this crap. Nobody in America supports this crap. For real, you guys. Nobody in America supports this crap. Straight up. Nobody will. I know I've said that before on multiple other videos, but I just kind of wanted to talk about what's happening, how Israel is now attacking Lebanon. Our so-called greatest ally is just they're just completely a rogue at this point. They're just a complete rogue state. They are just a bunch of insane genocidal warmongers who are pretty much attacking everything in sight. I have heard reports that the IDF is telling Lebanese Christians not to hide Shia Muslims under their houses. That's how bad it is. We have straight up Gestapo behavior from Israel. It's the Zionist apartheid state is... I hesitate to even call them Gestapo because, to be honest, I think Germany got a bad reputation, you know? I think a lot of the supposed bad things that happened during World War II were kind of overblown, but, that's a controversial topic for another video. It's but Israel is an insane genocidal apartheid state. They are. They want to expand. They want to achieve the Greater Israel Project. I would encourage all of my lovely followers to look that up, as well as to look up the Pax Judaica. That's what they're working towards. That's what the Zionists are working towards. They want the Pax Judaica. They want Israel to be a world superpower. And they are going to deplete what is left of the U.S. empire in order to build their own. They are going to sacrifice our best and brightest in a war that does not benefit the American people, so that Israel can achieve the Pax Judaica. Did I say Pax Americana before? I meant Pax Judaica. That's the thing you should look up. There was a Chinese professor, I don't remember his name. He did an excellent video on this. I think I put his stuff in one of my playlists. I don't remember which one, but I know I've watched it. You guys, I highly encourage you to check out his videos. He also did a video on, like, secret societies, and I highly recommend that one, too. Because, like, I love that video. Like, honestly, like, that video kind of describes how I feel about the world. Like, the way I feel in my heart of hearts that this world is really run. I do think we are controlled by these shadowy groups. And I don't think it's just one. I don't think it's just the Zionists. I don't think it's just international Jewry. Like, I think it's multiple groups. I think the Catholic Church also plays a role. And that there's these various groups, the Freemasons. You know, they're kind of like working together to achieve their goals because they all kind of have common goals. And they're kind of working together. There's like multiple groups because they all benefit. They all benefit. These various groups that run the world. And let me explain why. Like, by destabilizing the Middle East, which Israel has done over the past 20 years, they have used the American military to destabilize the Middle East at great cost to the American people, who have had to watch their children come home in flag-draped coffins, and have had to watch their empire collapse, and have had to watch their currency be inflated to the point where they can barely make ends meet. It's like we have paid the price, and Israel has reaped the benefits. Like, international Jewry has bled us dry. They have bled us dry. And they are the ones who benefit. They have created a refugee crisis that is now threatening all of Europe. And you know who else benefits? The Catholic Church. Let me explain why. Like, why I think the Catholic Church is probably in some way in league with Zionism. Because Europe has gone largely secular. The Catholic Church does not have the influence it had a couple hundred years ago, you know? Like, over time, Europe became increasingly secular, and the Protestant Revolution was obviously Protestantism. The Protestant... What's the word for that? I'm just going to call it revolution. Has been insanely successful. But the thing is, if you pay attention to the European alt-right, in countries like Poland, where they have this fascist regime that wants to control women's bodies. They want to, like, put you in prison for abortion. I literally watched a whole documentary on this, on the alt-right in Poland. I don't remember the documentary. I believe it's in one of my playlists. You guys will have to look that up. I'm like 90% sure it's in one of my playlists, like maybe the history playlist. But I have watched a documentary on the alt-right in Poland, and this was a while back that I watched this documentary. And I found it to be quite interesting, honestly. That I see this alt-right rising. I see the potential in the future. I mean, I can't prove 100% that this is going to happen. This is just me speculating. This is just me making an educated guess. So please take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. This is just my personal theory as to the future. But with that being said, I do think we're going to see the rise of the alt-right in Europe in response to the refugee crisis created by the disastrous war on terror, the GWOT, that was waged by the U.S. military-industrial complex pretty much the last 20 years. Like, it's been going since I was born. Like, I was born in, like, 1998. And, honestly, pretty much my whole life, we have had the GWOT. We have had the global war on terror. And what this global war has created, this GWOT has created, is the refugee crisis. Like, when you carpet bomb these people's countries and you have swarms of refugees that now have nowhere to live, and the region they once lived in is destabilized and destroyed and overrun by terrorist groups, because that's exactly what happened. They had functional governments in the Middle East at one point. And yes, the people who ran these governments might have been tyrannical. They might have been dictators. But honestly, like, I don't really care. Like, they were functional governments that kept order. Like, you don't have to agree with everything they did. You don't have to, like, agree. But, like, first of all, it was none of our business anyway to go over there. It's like, we were trying to intervene to liberate a bunch of people who frankly just didn't need to be liberated. Like, that's just their culture. And really, we should have just left well enough alone and accepted that not everybody's going to be like us and not intervened. But we did, like, and the rest is history. We did intervene, unfortunately. We did topple these governments. We did destabilize the entire Middle East. And now you have groups like ISIS and these terrorist cells that are running rampant. And there's no government to stop them because the U.S. military-industrial complex toppled the governments. The evil dictators that, yeah, they managed to keep those savages in line. Sorry, no offense to my Islamic friends. I'm not referring to you. I'm not referring to the good Muslims when I say savages. I'm talking about ISIS and the radicals. Please don't take offense. But anyway, that's exactly what happened. Like, we destabilized the entire region of the world and allowed these terror groups to run rampant with no one to stop them. And they created a refugee crisis in Europe. And I can completely see the Catholic Church taking advantage of this refugee crisis and teaming up with the alt-right, which we see rising in Europe. We see people like Tommy Robinson from the UK, the Britain First. We see people like, I don't remember her name. It was this red-haired chick. Not like natural red hair, like dyed red. Like Jadenia Frazier or something like that. Some British girl that was part of Britain First. She was the leader of Britain First. And she was a Catholic. She was a papist. And I really can see the Papist Church taking advantage of that. Like, I can really see the Papist Church going back to their roots. Taking advantage of this refugee crisis to gain power again and teaming up with the alt-right to do so. And again, that's just my personal theory. I'm not a fan of the Catholic Church. I still need to do a video on why I'm so against the Catholic Church. Why, honestly, I feel that the Catholic Church is worse than the Nazi Party in terms of, like, actual crimes against humanity committed. Because nowadays, like, the Papist Church seems so docile, you know? You have, like, the liberal communist Pope. And everybody thinks that they're just chill now. Everybody just, they've forgotten how dangerous Rome truly is. And I'm not saying that the Papist Church is the only dangerous player in this game, because they're not. There's also international Jewry and just the billionaire class in general. It's like there's multiple different players to this game that all kind of work together to collectively screw us all over. That's how I feel anyway. But I do feel that we're going to see the rise of the alt-right. And I've already done a video on that. I've already done it. I just felt like I briefly needed to touch upon that again, because it's been on my mind lately. As I watch this situation in Iran continue to deteriorate. And watch as we go about creating what is most likely going to become yet another refugee crisis that is going to negatively impact Europe. That's what happens every time. Every time we intervene in the Middle East on behalf of Israel, we created the military-industrial complex of America creates refugee crises. And again, I know I've already made a video about this. I just feel the need to talk about it again. Anyway, moving on. I don't feel like there's any way to say this is not going to be controversial, but, like, the more I learn, the more I start to realize that, you know, maybe it is all Jews. And I'm not encouraging violence. I do not condone violence. I am not condoning violence or hatred against anybody, any individual. But like, what you have to realize is that when you look into what, for instance, the Orthodox Jews believe, like the Orthodox Jews are waiting for a figure, a leader, and that they predict will come in the future, a Meshiach, the Messiah, their false Messiah that will come, and he will regather the Jewish people and establish Israel. And I think we can see that happening now with the Pax Judaica, like that professor mentioned that I talked about earlier. I think we can see that now with the Pax Judaica. I think we're going to eventually have someone come forward and claim to be the Meshiach. And then that's when you're really going to have a problem. Because honestly, like, the only difference between Zionist Jews and non-Zionist Jews is that the non-Zionist Jews have yet to see the Meshiach. Like, once someone comes along and manages to deceive these so-called good Jews into believing that someone is the Meshiach, like, they will follow the Zionist. They will instantly become Zionist overnight. The so-called, that's the only difference. Is that the people, the Jews who are against Zionism believe that they have to wait for the Meshiach before they can do this. Like, in principle, they're not against Zionism. They're just against it because it's not the Meshiach doing it. That's really the only reason. And once you understand that, once you understand what the Bible says about that these people are going to fall for an Antichrist figure. Like, I don't know if that figure will be the literal Antichrist, but he definitely will be an Antichrist. And that's going to come in the future. There's going to be someone who claims to be the Meshiach. It could be anyone. It could be Netanyahu. It could be anybody. But eventually, like, if they actually achieve Pax Judaica, there will be a figure like that. And then that's when you're going to see all Jews globally return to Jerusalem. You're going to see all Jews globally unite to build this superpower, this upcoming superpower. And their goal will be to force the 7 Noahide laws onto the world. They want to control us. Like, they want to control us. They want to force the Noahide laws on us. And if you don't know what those are, I would highly encourage my lovely followers to look that up. I believe I have a really great sermon on that on my anti-Zionist playlist. If not, I will be sure to add that so you can hop on there and educate yourself. But, like, okay, I'm going to probably bring this video to a close soon as well, because I had not planned on talking for like 20 minutes. You know, I had planned on just hopping on and doing a quick little video, but you know how I like to ramble. You know how your girl likes to ramble, you know? Like, she likes to ramble when she's walking, when she's exercising. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow for a fun Friday video. I'm not quite sure what the topic will be, because I've already covered TV shows, movies, and books. So I really don't know what the topic will be tomorrow. I'll definitely try and make it something fun, though, that's for sure. Like, you know, I love making my fun Friday videos for you. Maybe, and this is just an idea, maybe I'll make one about, like, YouTube videos. You know, my favorite online content that has affected me as a person. Maybe I'll do that, because, like, YouTube has been hugely influential to me. Like, when I first discovered the internet, when I was, like, my parents finally let me go on YouTube when I was, like, 17, 16. Like, it changed my life. Like, I discovered views that I never had before. Like, I discovered so many great things on the internet. And that definitely strongly influenced me into becoming the woman I am today. So, thank you for your support, especially if you watched the video to the end. Please like and subscribe and all that streamer stuff. I'm already looking forward to Friday. And we're off.